Welcome to the Explainer. So today we're going to dive into the art of AI image creation. We are going to break down a guide for how to craft the perfect prompts, the kind that turn those amazing ideas in your head into absolutely stunning visuals.
Look, you've got these incredible, vivid scenes playing out in your mind, but when you try to describe them to an AI, something just gets lost. You know exactly what you want, but getting the machine to see it too? Yeah, that's the real challenge.
We're going to call this the AI vision gap. It's that super frustrating space between your brilliant concept and the not-so-brilliant image that pops up on the screen. And hey, if you felt that, you are definitely not alone. It's a huge hurdle for so many creators. But here's the good news. We have a clear roadmap to close that gap for good. We'll start with the AI vision gap. Then I'll walk you through a powerful 4-part formula. We'll be painting with words, finding the magic in the details, see how to go from bad to brilliant, and then even learn how to make it move. Okay, let's dive into section 1. Because, before we can build the bridge to these incredible images, we have to get a really good look at the gap we're trying to cross. Naming the problem, that's the very first step to owning the solution. So our goal here is pretty simple. We want to hand you a tool, a structure that puts you firmly in the driver's seat of the creative process. This is all about making the technology a true partner to your imagination, instead of this frustrating wall you keep running into. All right, let's get to the solution. And it's actually a pretty elegant one. A simple but incredibly powerful 4-part formula for writing prompts that will finally deliver exactly what you're picturing in your mind. First, just a quick reality check. You have a 380-character limit. But look, don't think of this as a limitation. Think of it more as a challenge to be super, super precise. The whole goal is to make every single character count, to pack it with rich, descriptive detail. And this is it. The formula is just beautifully simple. Subject plus scene plus mood plus detail. You get these 4 elements right, and you are well on your way to creating something truly spectacular. Now, let's break down those first 3 parts of the formula. You can kind of think of these as the main layers of your digital painting, right? You've got the subject, the setting, and the whole vibe. First up, your subject. Who or what is the main focus of your image? The key here is to be relentlessly specific. A man just isn't going to cut it. That's a guess. You've got to give the AI a real character. Yeah, something exactly like this. I mean, this isn't just a person, right? This is a character with a whole backstory practically baked right into the description. Zombie showgirl gives us a genre and a history. Cracked porcelain skin adds this layer of texture and tragic beauty. All of a sudden, the image in our head is 1,000 times more interesting. Next up is the scene. Where is all of this going down? A compelling subject just floating in a white void is, well, it's a huge missed opportunity. The setting is what grounds your character and makes the whole story so much deeper. And this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Placing our zombie showgirl on an abandoned Broadway stage. Boom, instant story. You can just feel that powerful contrast between past glamour and present decay. The scene doesn't just contain the subject, it actually makes it better. And finally, we've got the mood. This is like your lighting department, your camera choice, and your film score, all rolled into just a few words. It's how you really seize control of the emotional atmosphere of the entire image. Words like these are your secret weapon. Seriously, they're like powerful little cheat codes that tell the AI precisely the aesthetic you're chasing. Are we in a sharp, hyper-realistic world or a soft, dreamlike one? These keywords are your director's commands. Okay, so now we move to the 4th and, I would argue, the most important part of the formula. This is the step that elevates a pretty picture into a piece of art. This is the magic of detail. Right? So the crucial point here is that details aren't just, decorative. They are all about injecting emotion, symbolism, and sometimes these really fascinating contradictions. You're leaving clues for the viewer that hint at a much bigger story just below the surface. Okay, look at this. What's so amazing here is how a simple detail implies action and a whole theme. We not just see glass wings, we see them mid-shatter. That one phrase communicates fragility, terrible beauty, and a peak dramatic moment all at once. And here's another perfect example. A lighthouse is a classic symbol of safety and guidance, right? But by adding no shore in sight, you completely subvert that meaning. It creates mystery, isolation, and unease. This one detail makes the viewer stop and ask questions, and that's powerful stuff.
So what happens when we put all these pieces together? Let's look at a side-by-side comparison and just see the massive difference this formula makes when you put it into action.
On the left, a simple prompt. It's fine, but it's generic. Now on the right, that's a whole world. We have our specific subject, the shadowy armored figure. We have our ruined scene. We have our ominous mood. And we have those killer details, the glowing sword, the piercing eyes, the runes, the skull. The result isn't just better, it's in another league entirely. It's powerful and it's unique. And what's really cool is that this isn't just for static images. The exact same principles of being specific and adding detail apply when you want to take your creations and bring them to life with motion. So the key for video is to think in terms of action and transformation. You describe what your subject does and then what it becomes. Look at this example. The angel's wings ignite and burst into radiant feathers that become a dove. You see that? It's a complete mini-story, action and transformation, all in a single powerful sentence. And this brings us to the core takeaway. This four-part structure isn't about limiting your creativity. It's about focusing it. It puts you, the artist, firmly in the director's chair. You stop hoping the AI understands, and you start telling it what to create with clear, powerful direction. And that is how you close the AI vision gap for good.